the Rebbe began to talk about the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Neach. He spoke about the first time before Pesach, 1983. And I was then already a big boy. I thought I knew everything in the world. In 1983, I was how old? I was 17 and a half, but I was a know-it-all. I'm getting dumber and dumber as time passes. For more than one reason. So when the Rebbe spoke about the Sheva Mitzvahs, and the Rebbe spoke about it a lot. He spoke about a Pesach, Yaf Nissen, and the Rebbe spoke about it every single Fabrengen for months. He defended it. They'd be speaking an hour. Every Shabbos, the Rebbe defended the Sheva Mitzvahs. Machon, when the Rebbe made a campaign, obviously he quoted the Torah. The Rebbe did make up his own stuff. And then the Rebbe would defend it. He would argue, defend it, for months after the Rebbe was defending the Sheva Mitzvahs. When the Rebbe made the Sheva Mitzvah Ne'ech campaign, he said, first of all, he said that it's the last halachas in the Rambam right before Mashiach. Right before Mashiach, Sheva Mitzvahs. Which means that before Mashiach comes, you have to speak about the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Neach, 7 laws of Neach. Additionally, the Rebbe said that Jews traditionally did not talk about the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Neach because they were afraid of an anti-Semitic pushback. And I have at home on my computer a note that the Rebbe actually wrote a little while after he started the campaign that he sees an increase in anti-Semitism and that Chabad should withdraw then, 40 years ago, from this campaign. Now, what the Rebbe didn't say the campaign is cancelled. At that time, the Rebbe wrote there's an increase in anti-Semitism and that Chabad should pull back. This I have the note on my computer, not the original, a copy of it. But when the Rebbe spoke about the Sheva Mitzvahs, he explained the campaign. And the language that the Rebbe used was Ayin Re'eh Ve'ezen Shemas V'chol Masecha B'Sefer Nechtavim. There's an eye that sees and there's an ear that hears, and everything you say is written in a book. Meaning, the Rebbe did not make the campaign of Sheva Mitzvahs so a guy should feel good. A guy should have chelken el mahaba. He said, Ata Asid Litin Din V'Cheshbon. One day you're going to meet your maker and you're going to have to give a reckoning. In other words, just like when the Rebbe made Shivas Hashem, Tzivas Hashem, he didn't speak to the kids that they'll feel good or they'll get an award. But there's somebody who's giving you an instruction and you have to do it whether you like it or not. When the Rebbe made the campaign for Sheva Mitzvah, he said the same thing. God is watching. In other words, the thinking of the Rebbe was Kabbalah Sale in both of these campaigns. The thinking of the Rebbe is what we would call Yiras Hashem. You don't do this only because you want to, you do it because you have to. The world we live in has gone more and more in the direction of how do you feel. 40 years ago, this was very new in America. Today, it's generational already. How do I feel? And how do I like it, or do I not like it? The Rebbe didn't like it. The Rebbe held that you cannot build a civilization based on people's feelings. You have to build a civilization based on the fact that there's a right and a wrong, and you have to follow the rules. And it's the job of government to enforce those rules, not to be mean, but to teach the rules. To teach the rules. People have to know that there's accountability. And when you try to be nice, you're hurting the people to whom you're being nice. This is the thinking of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. This is the thinking, in other words, is the Rebbe liberal? Is the Rebbe open-minded? The Rebbe was so loving and so accepting. But at the same time, the Rebbe was also principled. And the Rebbe preached and taught and established the idea that a civilization cannot live on hugs alone. A civilization on love alone. It has to be based on discipline, on Kabbalah Sale. That's what the Rebbe taught.